Hey everybody, the unconscious not here. The channel where we explore the unconscious, your unconscious, my unconscious, the collective unconscious, so we can unlock what's hidden and really recover from whatever's causing us distress in our life. We got to give a debut. This is our debut. We got to give a little overview. So personally, I suffered, past tense suffered. I suffered from ankylosing spondylitis, a degenerative bone, autoimmune, possibly genetic, hereditary, blah, 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 incurable. That was the key word the doctors told me, incurable. I suffered from that, which causes chronic pain. If you have it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not fun. It's a pain in the butt. Panic attacks since I was as little as I can remember, 6, 7 years old, panic attacks, daily panic attacks, anxiety disorder, chronic headaches, migraines, fatigue, other issues, just general pains, I had wrist issues, all these issues. So many doctors, going to this doctor, going to that doctor, had a rheumatologist, had a brain and spine doctor, had a dermatologist, had, like 5 general practice doctors, had a psychiatrist, had a psychologist, clinical psychologist, and a psychiatrist. And oh man, I had panic disorder. I loved it. I was addicted to going to the doctor. And at the time, which was basically 20 years straight from age 5 to 35, I was addicted to going to the doctor and getting the negative attention that it gave me. Somewhere in my unconscious was a desire to get attention. And since I didn't get attention through my career, school, or all these other things, this is a way to get attention. And I did get lots of attention this way. And I never really pieced that together until I started exploring the unconscious. What led me to this? What led me to recovering? I recovered fully from all this garbage, all this nonsense, all this silliness. What led me to this? So I discovered Dr. Sarno. As you may well know, he's kind of the pioneer for this Mindbody TMS type stuff in the 80s. Modern day pioneer. There was guys before him like Carl Menninger, Carl Jung. Those were the old school psychologists, psychiatrists who really kind of knew about the mind body stuff in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and then it kind of fell out of fashion. Then Sarno brought it back a little bit. It's still not mainstream, but I digress. But there's going to be a lot of digressions on this channel. So I discovered Sarno, and it said, hey, all my patients' back pain was caused from psychological issues, repressed things, avoidance, all these different, avoiding something, I'm not enough, all these feelings of loathing, self-loathing, all these things are causing these patients back pain. And as soon as they addressed their psychological issues, stuff started getting better. Some were instant, some were longer. My personal recovery from going from just starting when I find out about Sarno to the fully recovery was a year. And I put in work, I put in time. Everybody's going to be different from when they discover it to when they heal. It could be, I know somebody who was 7 years. I know somebody who's 20 years. I know somebody who was 2 weeks. I know somebody who's 1 day. There's so many healing stories. It's encouraging. So I read about Dr. Sarno, but I said, hey, these cases, they aren't exactly like mine. And I hear this a lot. Well, they don't exactly have this. They don't have this symbol. People want to have a case where they can actually see where somebody has the exact same symptoms, the exact same life story as them, and they want to see that they recovered. And if it's not exactly the same, they tell them, nope, there's no hope for me. That's BS. Get that out of your head. Boom. Get that out of your head. I personally didn't think, that's what I said to myself, like, this is BS. This is BS. These people are either lying or they're doing X, Y, Z. Why would I do this? And then I kind of put it out of my mind for a day. And then the next day I thought, let's see if anybody healed from ankylosing spondylitis by using Sarno's technique. And I find Sky Denton YouTube channel. He had ankylosing spondylitis, got rid of it. And then he leads me to Peter Winslow, who recovered 40 years ago from ankylosing spondylitis and has never had a symptom since. He healed in his late 20s, and that was in the 80s, and he healed from it. He's recovered from it. And I said, I got angry. I said, this can't be true. This can't be true. This is garbage. They're trying to sell me something. And then that night I was sitting in bed. It was bothering me because I was like, why would I be upset that someone got better? Why would I be upset that someone recovered from this horrible condition? It's because the ego was upset that it wouldn't be like, the ego was upset that I wasn't going to be the center. Like I would be at fault for my symptoms. And if I was at fault for my symptoms, if I was psychologically causing my symptoms, that I couldn't, it was causing cognitive dissonance. I couldn't accept that. I couldn't accept the fact that I might be responsible for my symptoms. And a lot of you, if you've noticed, if you've ever been a part of these Reddit groups or these chronic pain groups, they are, if you heal or get better, they do not want to hear it. They do not, especially if it's through Sarno. They berate you. They say it's not true. It's a bunch of you get out of here. I've been banned from the ankylosing spondylitis Reddit groups and Facebook groups because when I discovered this, I said, "Hey, look at this." And I said, "Well, get out of here. Get out of here." Oh, okay. Oh, all right. All right. And if you heal from it, you really didn't have it. That's the caveat. If somebody heals, they never really have it. Anyway, I digressed again. Going back to the original story. So I discovered these people healed, and I'm upset about it. And my ego is trying to protect myself. I couldn't handle being wrong because if I had it, that meant I was causing it, and it was causing some kind of jarring in my brain. And then I knew right then it was telling the truth. I'd been a victim. I'd have been a victim my whole life, and to hold on to that victim status was so important to my unconscious that it would cause symptoms. One of my reasons I was getting so many symptoms is because I wanted to be a victim. I wanted attention. It was the only way I got attention. Everybody else in my family did this. They got this attention for being great. How do I get attention? Well, I grabbed onto this at a young age, and I said, okay, I'm just going to have anxiety. I'm going to need special help. I'm going to have panic disorder. I'm going to have to leave class every day because I have a panic attack. Oh, I'm going to have headaches. I'm going to have to go talk to the school nurse. I'm going to have these issues. I'm going to have stomach. I'm going to have IBS stuff. Oh, I always had stomach. Oh, and they were real stomach. All this stuff was real. But the body listens to your mind. Your mind sets the tone for your body. So all these people say, oh, you got to do ice baths. You got to have this exact diet. You got to do this starch diet. Do this blah, 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 blah. Do this. No, not a single piece of carb or not a single piece of meat. It's always something extreme, and then you'll get better. It's like, no, your body's going to listen to your mind. It's like you could do all the right things in the world. You're still going to be in a state of fight or flight in your head. You're still not going to be right with the way you think. Therefore, your body's not going to be able to heal from that. It's not going to be able to recover because your mind keeps telling you, hey, there's something wrong. Hey, there's something wrong. It's just like an alarm's going off in your head. And it's been said 100 ways. That's kind of what the channel wants to be. There's so many different resources. Some are spiritual, some are very scientific, but they all kind of lead to the same place of this unconscious and letting go and discovering yourself and really letting go of the ego, like Eckhart Tolle says, and Joe Dispenza, like these types of things where you just got to really let go of these negative programmings that have been put in your mind because that's making you sick. And then you'll say, well, I know a guy who had this disease and he did a diet where he didn't eat any carbs or XYZ and he got better. Sure, you can get better. There's ways to get better. You can take so many drugs. You can take ibuprofen all your life and probably you wouldn't have back pain, but eventually those things stop working. People take Humira and stuff like that, and then they stop working. The scientific studies show they stop working. Your body breaks through. Your body figures out a way. You can only trick it for so long. These are just temporary Band-Aids. Don't you want to just have your body figure it out itself instead of having these temporary solutions? Oh, I like to eat. Sure, if you only eat non-inflammatory foods, you'll have less inflammation. That is true, but it's fun to eat fun things. It's fun to eat pizza. It's fun to eat ice cream once in a while. Obviously, you got to take care of your body, but it's fun to do these things. And when you take these things away from yourself, here's the theory. You're punishing yourself by making yourself have a strict diet. It'll make you feel better because you'll feel better about yourself. It's kind of like an ego thing. Somewhere deep down, you feel like you have to be punished. That's why these extreme, severe diets work, because it creates a state of punishment, and these people who respond well to these feel like they need to be punished or they are not enough. They don't feel like they're enough. And that's just how they work. It's psychological. It's like a placebo effect. It is a placebo effect. You say, I'm doing the diet. It's going to work. It's going to work. If you start a diet and you say it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But if you think, hey, it's going to work, guess what? You're telling your body, hey, it's going to work. You're doing the same thing. We can do the same thing. All we're going to do is say, hey, this positive thinking, this change of mindset, this releasing of the unconscious, this unconscious trauma, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work, and then it works because it's the same thing as the diet. It's the same thing as these pills. Have you seen the studies for these anti-depression, like SSRIs and SNRIs? All these studies show that they don't have much effect besides placebo. So people take these Prozac, they think it's gonna work, and it works. Plus, they get the side effects from the pills. And the efficacy is not that much greater than placebo. So this is what we're going to implement in ourselves. I digress again. Here we are digressing. That's what we're going to focus on. We're going to have a book club. We're going to do a chapter a week. We're going to be starting talking about the great David Hawkins, Healing and Recovery, right back there. We're going to start off with Healing and Recovery, one of the books that was instrumental in my healing. We're going to do one chapter at a time, daily videos, get some questions. Let's ask each other questions. There might be people way further along in the journey or just starting, or you think it's BS. We're going to get into everything. We're going to explore the unconscious because we're going to learn from each other, and it's going to be great. Thanks for being here with me.